I'm sure many of you or most of you are already aware that Saturday is an incredibly important day for the people of the UK and for many people around the world too. This is because it's going to be the day of the coronation of King Charles III. King Charles III was formerly known as Prince Charles, the Prince of Wales, before his mother died, Queen Elizabeth II, last September. So technically he has been king since last September at the moment when his mother died, but this Saturday is his coronation, and a coronation is an official ceremony when someone is made king or queen. Another word for a king or queen is a monarch, and King Charles is what we call a constitutional monarch, and this is a monarch, a king or a queen, with very limited powers. He's basically a figurehead. He's something that is used to represent the monarchy in the UK, but in reality he doesn't have very many powers. Most of the legal powers are delegated to the Parliament. The coronation will take place at Westminster Abbey. An abbey is a place where monks or nuns live or used to live. These days, no monks or nuns live at Westminster Abbey, so it's primarily used as a church for important religious ceremonies, such as this weekend's coronation. It was also used for the wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton. And of course, it was where the funeral took place for the late Queen. Now, as the coronation of a monarch is not an everyday occurrence, in fact, this will be the first coronation of a British monarch that the majority of us will have seen. And so there are going to be a few things that we see that are unfamiliar, even for native speakers in fact. Let's take a look at some of the items that you might see as part of Saturday's coronation. So you will notice that Prince Charles will be given a robe or robes. A robe is a long, loose garment or item of clothing that is worn usually for formal occasions. One of these robes will also be placed on King Charles by Prince William, his son, who is the heir to the throne. The heir to the throne is the person who is next in line to the throne. When King Charles dies, Prince William will then become the king. We will also see the king carrying the sovereign's orb and scepter. A sovereign is another synonym for a king or queen. An orb is a spherical object. It's shaped like a ball and it's beautifully decorated. I imagine it's quite heavy as well. And he will also carry the scepter, which is a large decorated stick. And they are there to remind the monarch that their power is derived from God. Now we more or less know the main important objects that we will see during the ceremony, during the coronation. Let's take a look at the official steps that the king must go through in order to be officially crowned king. So the first step is that the king must take an oath. Now, an oath is an official promise. During the oath, the king will place one hand on the Bible and promise to rule wisely and to serve God and his people. Next, we will see the anointing, which is the next step in the coronation. During the anointing, the Archbishop of Canterbury will take some holy oil. So the holy oil is oil that will have been blessed. Remember, to bless is to ask for God's help or to say a prayer to make something holy. So at this point, the king will be sitting in the coronation chair. The Archbishop will have the holy oil on a spoon, and the Bishop will take some of the oil from the spoon and, forming the sign or the symbol of the cross, he will mark the king's head, his hands and his chest. Next, we will see the investing or the investiture of the king, and this is the point when he will be given the orb and the scepter. Remember, the orb and the scepter are there to remind the monarch that his power comes from God. After the investing comes the crowning, which is probably the most important part for people watching the coronation. As the name suggests, this is the official part of the ceremony where the crown is placed on the king's head. The crown that will be used during the crowning of King Charles is called the St. Edward's crown. It's a very heavy crown, I think over 2 kilos heavy. This crown was officially made for the coronation of King Charles II in 1661. This will be the first and the only time that King Charles will actually wear this crown. So it's only used in these official ceremonies. He will have his other crown to wear at other important events. The last important step in the coronation will be the swearing of the allegiance, also known as the Pledge of Allegiance or the homage, to King Charles. This is an official promise of loyalty and support for the monarch. Traditionally, this would have been a promise made by senior royals and the church. However, King Charles is trying to modernise the monarchy, and there have been some signs of this in his coronation. This time, all British people have been invited to swear allegiance to their king. Now, this has caused some controversy, as you can imagine, because not everybody wants to do that, and it is completely optional. There is no obligation to swear your allegiance to the king. And many people will choose to do this, whether they are watching the coronation on TV at home, maybe they're at a party with friends celebrating it, and some people will even travel to London to try and catch a glimpse of the king. I think that is the most important coronation vocabulary that you will need to be able to follow along with the ceremony on Saturday. If you're planning to watch the coronation, let me know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching.